Welcome back to the Racing Source. It's a beautiful April day here in Louisville, Kentucky. Put your hands together for my son, your host, Josh Mabe.
Hey, what's going on?
So, hey, man, the race just finished. Tell me what happened. I was back here putting mics up.
Yeah, interesting race.
And where was the race held?
Martinsville, Virginia.
Martinsville, Virginia, okay.
Kyle Busch won his first ever win at Martinsville in the Cup Series. Yesterday he won in the Truck Series for a win, but
golly, they have to love him. Is he still with M&M's?
Yes.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Who came in second?
AJ Allmendinger. Good run for him today.
He doesn't do that well usually, right?
It just depends on the day.
Yeah, right.
He's good on road courses.
I wonder
short tracks.
Brad Keselowski,
He finished fifth.
Finished fourth. So we got Kyle Busch, AJ Allmendinger. Third was
Kyle Larson.
And fourth was Austin Dillon.
In the 3-car.
How did our buddy do in the truck race yesterday? You'd been at his show. What's his name?
Ben Rhodes.
Ben Rhodes.
He did okay. Yeah.
He did all right. All right. Nice. How did Dale Jr. do in this race? I wonder.
I think top 20s. I think 17th was last time I checked.
Okay.
When I was looking at the race.
Speaking of Dale Jr., didn't you tell me something that he was going to do once he passed away?
Yes, he is donating his brain. As you know, Dale Jr. had a concussion a couple years ago that had him sit out for a couple races in the chase. So he is going to donate his brain to cancer research.
Now Kyle Busch, he had what did he have? He was in a hospital recently. What was that?
Kyle Busch?
Yeah.
He had last year at Daytona in the Xfinity race, he broke his leg.
So you think Kyle Busch will donate his leg to something medical?
I don't know.
So that's interesting. So Dale Jr. will be donating his brain to a concussion foundation. You know, his dad was in a similar type of situation when he didn't survive that wreck. So maybe he has a little passion for that. With that. So all right. So Josh, we just announced. Oh, by the way, the person who I sent you an email, the person who won the Prank It Up T-shirt. I just emailed you back. Send me your name and address. You did answer correctly. What were the questions to last week's trivia?
It was who finished first, second, and dead last in the 1984 Daytona 500.
And what were the answers?
I don't even remember.
You don't remember? Right. But anyway, this guy sent them in. He won. And so we need you. I just replied to your email. So I was like, Josh, we're going to give away that shirt. And I checked the email out. He had no name nor address. He's a big fan of yours. So, all right. So speaking of trivia, what kind of trivia do you have for us?
We got 2 questions today.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we're not going to be giving anything away, but
okay.
You got a couple questions.
All right.
Feel free to play along at home if you want to.
Leave the answer in the comments.
First one, how many members are on a pit crew? I'm not talking about crew chief, car chief, spotter, engineers.
People who jump off over
jump over the wall and pit the car.
They put the gas, the brake, or whatever. They change the oil.
How many members?
What do they? Before I answer that, I know this, I think, but what do? They change tires. They tape up any quarter panels or anything flying off or loose, and they gas up. So that's pretty much the main thing. They're either going to change 2 or 4 tires, and fuel.
Yeah.
And don't they rip off the little screen off the windshield in case it's getting a lot of bugs and stuff on it? They have like the different layers of plastic on it, or they clean them. All right. So I think the answer is 6.
Correct.
Yeah, I was going to say 8, but there's only 4 tires.
There's the gas man.
Gas man. Sometimes my wife, your mom, refers to me as the gas man.
Oh, okay. Put a fart joke in there. Okay.
Put a fart, yeah. Hey, I'm classing up the podcast, Josh. Put a fart joke in. All right, so we got the gas man.
Trying to get more viewers. All right, the gas man.
The gas man.
The jack man.
The jack man.
Who jacks up the car.
Okay.
And then the front tire carrier who carries the tire and puts it in.
Okay.
The front tire changer who actually screws the lug nuts in.
Okay.
And then the rear tire carrier and changer who do the same thing but on the rear tires.
Wow, okay.
And then in certain conditions they can have a 7th guy over the wall to clean the windshield if cases are needed.
Right. So that's that was 6. I can't believe that I got that right. So what else? What's another trivia question you have?
Do you have to have a valid driver's license to race in NASCAR?
Do you have to have a valid driver's license to race in NASCAR? No, there's no plates or nothing. Because you can fly a plane without a driver's license. You could be 14. You could be 12 and fly a plane if you get your. I'm going to say no.
Correct. There's people
Twice in a row, brother. Twice in a row.
Let me say this. There's people my age racing in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. So,
Really?
Yeah. So team owners, if you're listening out there, I'm available.
You're available.
I'm available. I'm available for if you need me to drive your truck.
I think you're gonna be more of a Chad Canals than the Jimmy Johnson. Didn't Chad Canals try to run one time?
I think so.
And he said he just kept on tearing up cars. But he knows the game. He knows the game really, really well. Knows the race really well. How's Jimmy Johnson doing this year?
He's doing all right.
Any big moves for him or any wins for him?
Yeah.
You don't know though.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he got a win.
When's our buddy Dale Jr.? When did he get a win last?
He hadn't got one this year.
Yeah.
Jimmy Johnson got the win in the Superman car.
The Superman. Hey, that movie's out. Superman versus Batman.
Yeah, it was funny. They had Jimmy Johnson in a Superman car and Dale Jr. in a Batman car.
Wow. How about Danica? She be in like a Batgirl car or now there's
She actually finished good today. Top 20 finish for Danica.
I want to see her win a race. I
Yeah, that'll
really
be
want
good.
to see it. So coming up in Kentucky, everybody knows if you're listening to the podcast, and please subscribe, tell a friend, and leave anything you want us to discuss. Leave it in the comments because Josh loves researching this stuff. He'll find out some things and get back with it. But we got something coming up at the Kentucky Motor Speedway. Is that coming up here soon?
Yeah,
or?
April 30th. It's going to be the what's it called? The fan day for people to check out the renovations of the track because, as most people might not be aware of, but the Kentucky Speedway is getting repaved. Because
so many complaints. I know a lot of the big NASCAR drivers, Dale Jr. is one, they did not like the pavement. It was not a smooth track for them. It was really, really bumpy. And so that's I'm glad they're fixing that. That's a good track. You and I have been fortunate. We've been to a lot of tracks, and our very own Kentucky Motor Speedway track is a good one. I got to tell a story. We were trying to get. We're good friends with Lauren Renier. Lauren is since retired. He did come back one time for the Jamie McMurray race, and that was some kind of debacle. But
Matt Kenseth.
Matt Kenseth. Okay.
Oh, and real quick, Matt Kenseth's spotter did return this week after his accident the week before Christmas.
Okay, good.
He's back, and good to see Crazy Chris Osborne back.
Crazy Chris Osborne, yes. But we were. Every year we get someone to give us like pit passes and garage passes and things like that, and this lady reached out to us and said, "Hey man, you guys want to? I got you passes, I got you this, I got you that," and I think it turned out she was a little crazy because we get there and this is year had to buy like a fan pass to get in the summer. But we go there, we go to the credentials office to get our passes and whatnot. And I said, blah, 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 Karen, so-and-so, I don't even remember her name, picking up passes. And she had us, like, sitting on the top of, like, I think she said we were going to be on top of Richard Petty's, had a big RV, a bus that was going to be a camper that was going to and she's like, and I got you guys doing this. And she was a fan of mine and a fan of the podcast. So I'm like, man, I can't thank you enough. And I get there, and I go to get the passes. And we don't even know who you're talking about. There's no such thing as this lady doesn't exist. And I emailed her, I texted her from my phone without her phone. I said, I got a really, really upset 11-year-old boy here. This is a few years ago. What's going on? And she said, it was. But thank goodness we were able to buy some fan passes, and we had a good time nonetheless.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get that again. Here's what we want to do. We want to ramp up the Racing Source and do NASCAR trivia, NASCAR Minute, and do all these great things. And we want to take it to the next level. So please, any tips, any things you guys want to hear at home, see at home, leave it in the comments, and we will be sure to address them. So Josh, what else is happening?
Well, let's see. There's been a debate recently about Cup Series drivers running in the Xfinity and Truck Series. I just want to say a few things about that.
Well, before I'm against any of the Cup drivers being Uber drivers because that's not safe. Sure, you're going to get us there quicker, but Uber's like a cab.
Yeah,
I got an app for it. I just got home. I went to I went to a movie premiere. I was in that movie.
Natural Born Pranksters.
Natural Born Pranksters, which you watched last night, and great movie. A lot of pranks and stuff. And I don't. When I'm out at night and I've had a couple beers, I want to take an Uber. And boy, the Uber drivers there in Los Angeles are really, really, really funny folks and good folks too. But that's why. Anyway, that was a reference I was making to Uber. I don't want to see the NASCAR drivers become Uber drivers. Although I think if they deliver pizzas, boy, it'd be like 30 seconds for free. That'd be quick. Okay. All right. What else? So the big. I've digressed.
The thing is, Kyle Busch. I'm not hating on Kyle Busch. Nothing against Kyle Busch, but Kyle Busch goes to these Xfinity races and truck races and just dominates.
Yeah.
Yesterday he was in a truck race, and I was watching it, and he just dominated the race.
Yeah, that's like me going to amateur night for male strippers. I got this incredible bod. Look at here. I know I'm in the wrong side of 40, but it's not fair to all the other strippers who are really trying to make it. But I'm joking, but Kyle, but Kyle's too good. It's like being Kobe Bryant going back to high school and getting in a dunking contest. He's too good for high school. Not that the driver is in, but what's funny though is when he goes to these races, and sometimes those high school drivers will beat the major league,
Yeah,
drivers.
It makes them feel good. So here's what I think.
Okay.
I think that there should be a limit. I do think it's a good thing that NASCAR did by making the boundaries this year a little bit more stricter by not allowing them to compete in Homestead.
Okay.
But I think there should be a limit.
To how many they can win.
They can race up to 10 races in the Xfinity
But
Series.
they shouldn't be able to win the championship.
Yeah, they're not. They haven't been able to do that for years.
Well, that's good.
But because there's sponsors out there, like smaller companies, that maybe don't have enough money to afford a sponsorship of a top-tier Cup car, but they want a good Cup driver to drive their Xfinity car to get promotion.
Right.
So they get, like, Dale Jr. drives a handful a year. Several of them do. So I think that if they do that, then it won't totally take away from the younger drivers, but it'll give them experience to race against these guys and occasionally beat them.
I said it before, man. If you want to get better, hang out with people who are better than you. If you want to climb a mountain, you got to go to the mountain. So my thing as an entrepreneur, as a mentor to certain, I have a lot of YouTubers that will come to me with 95 subs, and I push them over to 150,000 subs and making $8,000 a month now. So I think that's the only way you can get better is hang out with people. Yeah. So all right, let's wrap it up, Josh. It's been a good podcast. I think that I love the trivia. So guys, do us a favor, man. Leave your comments. Leave any ideas, anything you want to, maybe a good addition to the Racing Source, and we'll rock it out for you.
All right.